They say seeing is believing, or not. Get ready for 11 optical illusions that will trick your eyes. Those who create optical illusions use combinations of colors, lights, or particular patterns that can really trick the brain. So get ready to check your visual perception with this fun challenge. And don't forget to click the subscribe button and turn on notifications to join us on the bright side of life. The first one is creepy. This is a famous drawing created in 1892 by Charles Allen Gilbert called All is Vanity. And depending on what you see first, it can come off as a little creepy. Most people who look at it don't even realize that the drawing is much more than it seems. Have you noticed anything unusual about this picture? You have 10 seconds to figure it out. Those who look at the drawing notice either a woman sitting in front of the vanity mirror or a spooky-looking skull. If you've managed to spot both of them right away, congratulations! Your visual perception is pretty impressive. Alright, here are hidden faces. Here's another challenging image where you have to find something that's hidden right in plain sight. Now at first glance, it might look way too easy. After all, everybody can clearly see at least 4 faces in the tree branches. But like any optical illusion, there's a catch. See how many more faces you can spot in the next 10 seconds. If you found 10 faces hidden among the branches, then you're an extremely observant individual. Some say that these faces are actually those of famous public figures. Can you recognize anybody? Share your ideas in the comments below. A fair lady. This gorgeous lady must be a ballerina. Otherwise, how does she keep rotating like that with that much grace? Like on her toes? But we're not here to discuss her artistic skills. Instead, can you tell if she is moving in one or two directions? So, what do you think? Left, right, both? The correct answer is she is moving in the right direction. Cafe wall illusion.
Only 1% of players can escape 5 stage. We bet you can't. Press.
The name of this illusion was inspired by a tiled wall of a cafe in Bristol. Like Starbucks? Nah. But I will tell you no more for now. Can you tell if the dark lines are parallel to each other or inclined? You have 10 seconds to figure it out. Again, it seemed like an easy question. The lines are so obviously inclined. It turns out that they're not. Let us blur the image quite a bit. More. Now that all the small elements are completely blurred, you can see the dark blue lines are actually parallel to each other. Well, that's not fair. This phenomenon is known as the cafe wall illusion. It was first described more than 100 years ago, but got its name only in the 1970s, when a guy named Steve Simpson noticed a similar effect on the wall of a cafe in Bristol. Little black and white bricks at the intersection of wide lines make this illusion possible. Curved elements inside the blue lines only make this effect stronger. The reason we see this distortion is that our retinal neurons and neurons in the visual cortex work together in quite a peculiar way. Number 5. The impossible triangle. Meet the impossible triangle. But wait, what makes it so impossible, you say? You have 10 seconds to figure it out before you hear the explanation. The impossible triangle, known as Penrose's triangle, is so called because it can never exist in reality. If it did exist, it would be absolutely contrary to the rules of Euclidean geometry. What is so wrong with this figure? Well, if you follow the ball sliding on the surface of the triangle from the top point, you will see that the left side is extending away and the right side is leaning towards you. However, they both seem to be on the same plane. Only an optical illusion makes it seemingly possible to the human eye. Now, number 6. Bicycle. Okay, this one seems pretty plain. There is a bicycle and it's moving. Still, there is something wrong here, something mysterious. Can you figure out what the trick is? You have 10 seconds to do so. What makes the bicycle move? Obviously, the fact that the spokes in its wheels are rotating. Nah, it can't be that easy when it comes to optical illusions. In fact, the spokes remain in place, and the colors that fill the wheels, those 50 shades of gray, that keeps changing. This illusory motion effect is created thanks to small, quick eye movements. Scientists are still working on figuring out how this phenomenon works to understand the perception of motion better. Now I present to you Rubik's Cube. What are these red and green and white lines all about? It looks like something familiar, but what exactly is it? If you need more time, just pause the video. We are going to need a cylindrical mirror to get the right answer. It's a Rubik's Cube. This optical illusion is based on anamorphosis. Hey, I remember anamorphosis, she used to live down the street. Actually, it's a form of perspective. The idea of it is to transform images so distorted it is almost impossible to guess what they are into something that makes sense using a cylindrical mirror. And it only makes sense if you do it from one special point, so only one person can see it at a time. It would be a great way to send hidden messages. It turns out this technique is not a 21st century 3D era invention. It actually dates back to late Renaissance, which was in the 16th century. Chessboard. You can't play any chess with this board because it's moving all over the place. Or is it? You have 10 seconds to do so, and please try not to get hypnotized. As hard as it is to believe, the eyes actually remain where they were. You can see it if you focus on just one of them. If you stare at one point and ignore the constant movement of black and white dots, it all becomes clear. And that's the way, huh? Counting down from number 9, Upside Down Steve Buscemi. Can you tell me what's wrong with Steve Buscemi? I mean, I hope Steve is perfectly fine, but can you tell me what's wrong with the second picture? These pictures look the same to me. Hit thumbs up if you think so too. Let's try to turn it upside down. Oh no, that is way too scary. It seems like my eyes tricked me again. By the way, here is another fun celebrity optical illusion. Hermann grid illusion and scintillating grid illusion.
I don't like violence.
Look at this black square crisscrossed with perpendicular white lines. The white dots situated at the intersections of the grid shift their color from white to gray and back. When you concentrate on a particular dot, you see that it's white. But as soon as your attention wanders, the dot turns gray. That's the Hermann grid illusion. Amazing, isn't it? We can take this illusion one step further by positioning white dots at the intersections of gray lines, all placed on top of the black background. Look at this image attentively, and you'll notice black dots starting to pop up at the intersections of the grid. Doesn't it create a scintillating effect? Another name for this illusion is a simultaneous light contrast illusion, as you perceive the dots as white at one moment, and then, almost immediately, you see them as black. How is it going? Have you managed to spot this effect yet? If not, take your time. You can pause the video and observe this illusion for a bit longer. So why do your senses let you down by making you see gray or black instead of white? Actually, this illusion demonstrates one of the most important principles of human perception. You don't always see things for what they really are. The thing is that the retinal cells in your eyes act as light receptors. When only one receptor gets illuminated, it perceives more light than when its colleagues are also illuminated. This prevents the firing of nearby receptors. As a result, the effect only gets transmitted laterally. Let's see how it works with the Hermann grid illusion. The white lines are arranged in such a way that there's more light around the intersections than along the lines themselves. Thus, the dots at the intersections are more inhibited, and you see darker spots. Are you thoroughly impressed yet? Well, the best is yet to come. Finally, consider this one: boxes. It takes one large box and one little box and some magic to make this illusion possible. I will leave some space to your imagination here. Let's discuss it in the comments section. How is it possible for the little box to be outside, inside, and part of the large box at the same time? So, how many optical illusions did you manage to crack? Tell us in the comments below. Now, don't forget to give this video a like, share it with your friends, and click subscribe to stay on the bright side of life.